Hello ladies and gentlemen, Xcentoro here and welcome back to another video. I hope all of you are doing well because I am as always, and in today's video, that time of year has come where we can evaluate and review Infinite Flight for the year we've just had, 2023, and it has been a pretty good year for Infinite Flight. It's definitely up there with one of the best years a simulator has. So in this video we're going to give it a really good review, and this will give us a really solid idea on what to expect in the upcoming year of 2024. So let's get right into the video. Throughout the year, there have been three major updates which we have had in Infinite Flight: the 23.1, the 23.2, and the 23.3 update. Now, each of these updates had something significant to them. They all had something unique about them and something cool. Maybe not 23.1 as much, but all of the other two updates were really big. Now, Infinite Flight generally does have a lot of updates, and you will see it published at some places where they had a lot of updates. But of course, this will include all of the little hot fixes which the simulator had. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the very first update we had in Infinite Flight, which came out about 9 months ago, so it came out into the third month of the year, so we had to wait a good 3 months from the end of last year before we even got our first update. But do not worry, it was a very good update to kick off the year. So in this first update we saw 250, more than that, of new 3D airports. The actual number is 268 new 3D airports. Now that is a lot. That's pretty much Overflight adding one into the simulator every 3 days or something for a whole year. That's an incredible amount of new 3D airports. Now there is still a significant amount of non-3D airports in Overflight which are popular, but it's pretty much safe to say now that most major destinations now have a significantly well-developed 3D airport. We also saw 10 new liveries enter Infinite Flight, such as the likes of the Lufthansa livery, which will be displayed hopefully at some point throughout this video, and there were many new liveries. So there were 10 new liveries, I think it was across 4 different aircraft, which is really good. Now, not only was there new features within this update, we also saw 89 updated airport and 3D layouts, which is incredible again. So not only are they bringing in new airports, they are improving on the current airports we have in the simulator, which again is really important. So that saw not far off of 350 airport updates, including new and updated airports. And then they also improved connections for multiplayer and performance improvements, and they fixed many crashes, and the VNAV altitude prompt is now empty when you set no out. So that is very good there when we're looking at the 23.1 update. Then obviously very shortly after, there was a hot fix to do with the ground services, aircraft lights weren't showing replays, and there are a few other things. So that is again another good hot fix. So that is the end of the first update we saw. Then we had to wait another 3 months for the 23.2 update, which again was another great update to get in Infinite Flight this year. It was an anticipated update. It featured the Challenger 350 business jet, which is an aircraft which, I mean, there were split opinions on the arrival of this aircraft to the simulator among everyone within the community. So we did see the Challenger 350 enter. It had about 20 stupid different liveries. There were a lot of liveries on this aircraft, but again, it was good. It was nice to have a new aircraft, a business aircraft, which you can fly across the pond. You can fly it transcontinental. It's a big range aircraft, and it was a very good replacement for the Citation X, which we will be missing very dearly. Now, missions were also introduced into Infinite Flight, which is pretty much timetabled flights, or it tells you where to fly, and you can earn certain XP and that for it, which I think is a nice little addition. If you're someone who struggles to decide what route to fly and what aircraft, missions are really cool for that, and they are a really nice little thing to have in Infinite Flight. Now, not only did we get this new feature and this new aircraft in the 23.2 update 6 months ago, but we got 74 new airports in 3D, which I think is incredible. 74 new airports on top of the already 268 airports. You guys can do the maths, but I think that's about 340 something, 344 airports maybe, if my maths is right. That's a lot of new airports to be getting. 344 new airports already this year in the first 6 months. That is incredible. Now, we also got the redesigned main menu, so it looks like the new menu we got now, okay, and that looks really good. I much prefer the new layout. I think it's nice. One of the pages, the very first page on the far left, does annoy me sometimes, but that's personal preference. We also got the flight school mode. If you're learning how to use the simulator, you got the flight school mode, which is really good. ATC sessions, you can schedule how long you're going to be there. You got and a new combined logbook and replace screen, so it's so much easier to use. Now, with all these airports and everything, not only have we now got these new airports, we also have custom towers. Now, what we mean by custom towers is someone has spent a very long time pretty much building a replica of the aircraft ATC tower at these airports. And the three airports we got here were Frankfurt, Hong Kong, and I believe it is either Lisbon or Barcelona. I'm not too sure on that. But yeah, that was again a really good update. And it was probably the biggest update of the year on paper, and with all the hype that was built around it with the Challenger 350. And then obviously that leads us to the final update of the year, the 23.3 update, which was a good update, but there have been 3 hot fixes since so, which is a bit concerning, but at least they're all fixed. So the leaderboards were added, and I think the leaderboards have added a competitive edge, and with that we now are able to see who's done the most flights across the whole simulator throughout the week. Who's got the most XP, the most landings, and all of those cool features. And I think it is really cool, but some people honestly are flying for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to get on that leaderboard, which I think is incredible determination. There were 14 new liveries, so on top of the 10 new liveries, and the other new liveries, we have now another 14 new liveries, which is great, just expanding the fleet. But not only with that, there were over 300 new 3D airports with 6 new custom towers, and that is a very, very big addition there. Seeing these new 3D airports, 6 new custom towers, again, that is just so incredible, which is really, really good. But I think the biggest highlight of this update, which was a very shock, no one saw it really coming, was the return of the space shuttle for missions only for pro users. So the space shuttle, it's a little landing challenge at the airport. I think it used to land at, I'd imagine. And it's like, oh, how smooth can you get it? Blah, blah, blah. It's got all of those cool stuff to it. I did it earlier. Should be on screen for you all now. But again, the space shuttle returning, it shows that, again, Infant Flight are still happy to include highly requested things. Now, the space shuttle has been requested to come back to the simulator, or it's been spoken about quite a lot, especially within the community over the years since it's been gone. So I think, again, that was great, and this update, again, was a really good update. So throughout the year, we've had a good year at Infant Flight. It's not as good as the year where we got that 777 rework. I think that is personally the best year Infant Flight has ever had. That might be my opinion, okay? I also think the year the A350 came out was equally as good. But okay, I think this year will top the A350 year, making it probably the second best year as a user for Infant Flights, in the addition of a new jet and all of these new 3D airports. However, I think this upcoming year, 2024, will be one of the best years we've ever had on the simulator. So if you guys do agree with me, let me know down below, and if you guys did enjoy the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. But other than that, I hope to see you all in my very next video. Have a lovely evening. Good night.